session. Okay, next item is regarding motion to approve and sign a resolution for the pending Wanville Water Project. This is another, we approved the beginning process for the grant application for this project. This is a continuation of the water project that was done in Wanville last year. You have in your packet the resolution which identifies that we commit a portion of cash funds if we do receive this grant. So are there any questions or comments on this item? We have a motion to approve this grant application resolution.
Motion to approve.
Motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed say no. Okay, next item is regarding a motion to approve the extending of personnel department's temporary employee for 6 months effective August 22nd, 2017. This was voted on previously, what was 6 months ago? February, is that correct? If we want to continue this process, we would need to continue this for the next 6 months. You do have a letter in your packets requesting that continuation. I believe everybody had received an email a week or two ago clarifying what this job has been doing and the duties of this position, and it has been helping us to get caught up in a lot of areas in our HR department. So any questions or comments regarding this item? Do we have a motion to approve this item?
I'll make the motion.
Motion, do we have a second? Do we have a second?
No, second.
Okay. Motion and a second, any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. Okay. Next item, motion to approve and hire temporary maintenance employee for the Parks Department. You have, do we have a, we do not have a name. Right, okay. So this, we'll pull this off the agenda, I'm sorry. We don't need to approve that until you have a name presented to us.
Right, but I need to make sure I can hire one.
Okay, okay, we'll open that up then. Are there any questions on continuing this process? I think this is something we've maintained a temporary employee in addition to the 3 full-time employees. So any questions on that? Okay, do we have a motion to continue this and to allow them to move forward with bringing someone on board?
We'll make that motion.
Motion, we have a second?
I'll say.
A motion and a second, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Okay. So once you have that name, get that to us. Okay, next item, motion to declare 2 buses a surplus for the Council on Aging. This was presented to us last week in our work session. I think there may have still been some questions, or maybe some of those were answered. Are there any further questions at this time regarding these items?
Well, no, I had a few questions about what's right there, and that's why I had Matthew to call you. I said, I don't really know how this .gov works, but these buses, if they're not in running condition, I've seen them a lot of times not bring them a salvage price. And as I understand, if we had to replace a transmission, it costs the county, what, 20%? Is that right?
Not to replace the transmission, it's the whole transmission.
Yeah, right.
It's if we have to replace the bus, it's 20% of the bus price. The buses are 80% federal money and 20% local money. But all the repairs, maintenance, upkeep, it comes out of our budget.
So it's $4,600 is what
Yes,
you
sir.
got a price on? Well, I knew that one bus didn't have but 116,000 miles when I talked to him. That's what I was looking at. I was wondering what the bus was going to cost to replace it. And it's right here, if it's salvaged, it's going to burn very little probably. That's why I was looking to see what was going to be the difference.
Probably quite a bit. We're getting a bus this fiscal year through the city, and I believe it was $11,099. Is that right, Bob?
That's correct.
Was their 20% of the bus price, and it will be a little bit more next year. But one of these buses is one that we're saying that it was the one that we had used with the city all this time, and they had done upkeep on it and had taken care of it and taken care of the driver and everything. So we needed to go ahead and get them to get the new bus. And then, we have had, since I have been working with the buses, we have had buses to go for $200, and that is scrap price.
Right.
Or we've had them to go up to $4,500. It's not a huge amount.
Do we have any way of getting a appraisal, kinda like from what we've done with the trucks and things that we sell through Ritchie Brothers or Daddy Woods? Do we have anything like that that would give us a figure?
I have, all I would know to do is to call and speak with some of the other agencies, to see what they may be going for. I don't know if anybody at GovDeals can give us any of that information. Jonathan, I don't know if,
We plan to sell this through GovDeals, is that correct?
that was my request.
Do we have to accept the bid on GovDeals? We don't have to accept, so we could put it on GovDeals and set a minimum amount, or say if we don't.
But even at that, when the bus is sold, we only retain 20%. So if it, the rest of it goes to the state.
We would be at cost for the entire
repair, and then only
Repair.
receive 20% of the fee.
Well, that's what I was getting at, just trying to see how that weighed out, figures of purchasing a bus or what it would
Right.
cost. I thought this bus probably got another 150,000 miles left in it.
But they have a limit on them. They have an age limit. We're supposed to turn them over every 4 years or 100,000 miles. And we have been running most of our buses a couple of 100,000 miles, or, we've been going way beyond that.
Yeah, that's the way the school buses are, they have so many miles, and then that's because of the funds, and if not, you lose your funding and things like that.
Not anything against you, I was just trying to weigh out.
Oh, I understand completely, and I'd love for you to come down and visit with us. So.
Yeah, I wish I could get over there and kind of seen and got
Right.
what kind of transmission it was, so after talking to him, he was telling me what he'd done. Put the Jasper transmission in, 3-year warranty thing, what it was gonna amount to.
Any other questions at this time? Do we have a motion on how we want to proceed with this?
Second it.
Motion to surplus and a second. Any further discussion? Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. Next item is a motion to approve and sign a resolution regarding a third-party agreement for council on aging. Ms. Thurman, you care to clarify this third-party agreement?
Okay, this is the first year that they've asked for a resolution. We usually just go ahead and do the third-party agreements. We have one agreement with Mount Lakes Behavioral Health Care, and we have one agreement with the nutrition program. And that is for miles and hours. It's the way that we bill those contracts. And it's counted a little bit differently in our financials. It's not counted as fares, so we can use it to meet our local fund or our local funds or my mind just went blank. The deductible when we're turning in our invoices on it. But what these consist of is an agreement. We take a pre-written agreement. They send us a template. We send it to each of these agencies that we're going to contract with and get them to sign it. And in the past, I have been signing those, and so has the executive director from the Mountain Lakes. Also, with the nutrition contract, we let our nutrition coordinator sign that program because it's kind of, I'm kind of working with both of it. Or I am working with both of it. And it helps financially, and it helps to know that what we're supposed to have in our budget for the coming year.
Any questions or comments on this resolution? Essentially allowing for that process to take place. Have a motion to approve the resolution. Motion, we have a second.
Second.
Any further questions or comments? Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, say no. Next item regarding the sanitation recycle tech position. Again, this was discussed last week in our meeting. We have this vacant driver position, and as I understand, we're changing that to the tech position, correct?
Yes, sir.
So are there any further questions or comments on this item?
How many routes do you currently run?
For our, we got 6 a day.
Any other questions or comments? What is this grade again?
Grade 4, step 1.
Grade 4.
Well, this is not creating a new position.
It is creating a new
It is.
position. Yeah, we're gonna remove one of my driver's positions because since we've gone automated, we have a spare guy for our can man and we got one for the roll-off truck. And then our supervisor, at this present time, we're not pressed for another driver unless we was to grow into a front-end loader or something in the future. But as of right now, I'd like to take that position, or we could leave it vacant and just make another one for the recycle tech. Recycling is growing and continuing to grow all the time. So we've had temporary working for 1 full year now, and he's busy every day. I mean,
I
and
understand that.
yes.
You see it every time you turn around.
We're not creating another position on the organizational chart, we're just
Just
changing
renaming one.
Renaming
the
one.
vacant driver position to.
And you're even, it's down a grade or is it up a grade? I remember.
Down
last-
1 grade.
Down 1 grade as well.
Any other questions or comments on this? Do we have a motion to approve the new org chart with that change along with the job description as presented?
Make the motion.
Motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, any further discussion on this? And this will, you'll proceed with advertising? once it's
Yes, that
approved,
was my
correct?
question. Yes, sir.
Have a motion, second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Okay. Next item, motion to declare used manual tarp system as surplus for sanitation department. Again, this was presented to us last week in the work session. Any further questions on this item? Do we have a motion to identify this item as surplus?
I'll make the motion.
Motion, do we have a second?
I'm second.
Okay, any further questions or comments on this? And these dollars will be,
Just go back into our general.
and this is oh yeah, we talked about sell to a local community if it's possible, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. And opposed say no. Okay. Next item is a motion to appoint a member to an unexpired term on the Alabama Mountain Lake Tourism Board. We have a vacancy on the board highlighted on your forms here. We have one interested person to serve on this board. So this time we'll open up the floor for nominations for this vacant position.
I nominate Ms. Gunter.
Okay, we have a nomination for Ms. Gunter. Are there any other nominations? Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Okay, hearing none, we'll close the nomination process and we'll entertain a motion to approve Ms. Gunter for that position.
Make that motion.
Have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any questions or comments on this? Motion and second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. And this term expires in September of 2018, so Ms. Gunter will serve until that point. Final item is a motion to discuss the changes to the enterprise funds. Mr. Manning's included it in your packet, a outline of this. This is something we can move forward with tonight if we're prepared. Otherwise, we can put this on the meeting on the 28th, but we thought we'd go ahead and see if this is something we wanted to move forward with. Mr. Manning, you care to explain that?
Sure. On your first sheet, on Lawrence Jackson County Park, starting this budget year, we didn't really know when the cabins would be finished or when they'd be rented, or actually when a timeframe for when that would be started, and we have an expenditure line for the long-term debt, the 621 object code down toward the bottom, that we will not be using any of that. So what we're discussing doing is just moving that 63,000 up into the three lines that you see above it. It's not going to change the total at all, but it will better give us a feel for the analysis of the park project and things that we had to do in order to do the improvements to go along with the loan that we were doing. So basically, it would just be an approval to rotate the money among those three items above.
The budgeted dollars.
The budgeted dollars, yes, there'd be no changes whatsoever in the total.
And similarly in sanitation.
It's the same way on sanitation. Those items are highlighted on it also.
The net change is zero for budget.
Exactly, and I reviewed those with Carl at Park and with Darrell at sanitation also, so. I just thought, let y'all get a good look at it today also.
Any questions or comments on this? We've been, of course, in effort, we've got our expenditures which help us identify, but a lot of times we'll get into the next fiscal year and say, well, why did we change that? Or why did we, bring this down or whatever by changing it now? When we look at it, the following years, we can say, oh, that's what the budget was because we, spent something in this line.
Right. And with